What is up, my fellow budget travelers? Today I am taking you with me cross country, well, across a couple states, on a road trip down to Virginia Beach. On the way down, we stopped at the Chesapeake Bay on the Maryland side. We got to see it from the Virginia side. We also hit a winery. We went to the Great Falls. And honestly, everything we did was spur of the moment. We knew we needed to break up the 8-hour drive, so as we were driving, we just kind of looked for things on the map, and I think that is the best way to do a road trip. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and let's get on the road.
Left 2 lanes to keep left onto Pennsylvania Turnpike.
I live in the Cleveland area, and my friend who I was driving with lives down in Akron, which is about like an hour away from Cleveland, I'd say. So the night before, I drove down to his house, and he was the one who had rented the car. So that night we had gone out. So funny story, we ended up sleeping for like 2 hours. That was it. And then we decided to wake up at 5 in the morning and get on the road. But I'm so happy we did that because we were able to beat all the traffic and we got to see these like beautiful views and we got to see the sun come up while we were driving. So it really helped the time go by because we got to like see the world wake up. And we ourselves had to wake up, so we made a pit stop at one of the rest stops along the turnpike, got ourselves some coffee, and got back on the road. If you're from this area of America, you know Pennsylvania takes forever to drive through. I'm talking like 4 hours just to get through the state. But it is really pretty. There's a lot of greenery, and then you also get to go through mountains and around mountains. So it's all kind of foggy. You get to go through tunnels. So it is fun, but it just takes forever to get through this state. As we were driving, we came across the same exact car. That was the same car that we were driving. So it was so much fun driving cross country with that. So we found around maybe like the 5-hour mark, we were starting to get hungry. So we were like, oh, what's around? And we saw that Chesapeake Bay had a Maryland side. So we stopped and got a bite in Maryland and then said goodbye to Maryland and kept it moving to Virginia. And while we were driving, everyone had warned us like, hey, there's a tropical storm coming. But yeah, the tropical storm actually hit. So we started hitting some rain almost right when we got into Virginia, but we were almost at my friend's house, so we were just around the corner from her. And also with the news, I feel like they hype it up. Like we were looking around, there weren't any like sandbags or anything. So the water was kind of high, but it wasn't like crazy. But literally, I tell you, we walked in the door and this hit. So like, here's where we were. And then all that red came and hit us all overnight. So thankfully, the timing worked out. Thank you for that. Whoever sent me good travel vibes and said prayers for me. But yeah, it really stormed hard. The next day, it was still pretty windy, but it wasn't really raining anymore. So we were able to meet up with a bunch of our friends and get lunch. Some of our friends drove in from Raleigh also. So we just kind of explored Virginia Beach, took a walk on the boardwalk, and did all the touristy things. They bought some hermit crabs for their kids. We took walks on the beach, and since the storm had just come in, they were actually able to find a lot of seashells the next morning. I told them how like the waves were probably gonna bring in a bunch of stuff, so they found a bunch of fun things. And guys, when I tell you Virginia Beach Boardwalk is so fun, you walk around, you don't know what you're going to see. Like there was a haunted house, there was this weird like mirrors place. They have all these different experiences and you wouldn't even know it's there. It just looks like a regular doorway. You go in and it's this whole like exhibit. So definitely try opening some random doors in Virginia Beach because you never know what you're gonna find there. My friend's wife had just moved from China and she had no idea we had all these little mini crabs and everything on the beaches. So she was so excited to like chase them around and try to catch them. If you wanna see more of Virginia Beach itself, check out this video here. The next day, when I tell you the weather was beautiful, like the skies were so pretty, guys. We were so lucky to be in Virginia Beach this day. It was so nice. And we ended up going to my friend's beach house and we had a cookout. We had so much fun, but it was so relaxing. We got some really good sun. And just like that, the weekend was over and it was time to drive back to Ohio. So it was back through the tunnels, back over the mountains. But this time we were in no hurry to get home, so we had some stops to make. And we found ourselves in some interesting places. Like this place was the biggest budget knife center in the area. And we had just stopped there because we were low on gas. And another thing about Virginia, which is so interesting to me, is all of the gas stations and liquor stores have casino games in them. Like, these Queens games are everywhere. I should have played it, but we were on our way to the Great Falls, so I was more interested to see these falls. And on the drive there, guys, these houses in Virginia, I guess this is a suburb of Washington, D.C., so that's why these houses are like huge. My friend was saying there's a lot of like senators and things that live out in this area, and this is like the upper class suburbs, I guess. So even just driving to the Great Falls was amazing. But then check this out, guys. I'll leave the link to the full video up above because obviously I can't fit it into this video. But these falls will like take your breath away. So I have a Great Falls video and a hiking trails video also because I couldn't fit it in one video. So make sure you check that out. And again, it's crazy when you just pick a spot on a map. I had no idea how much history was in these Great Falls. Like, George Washington had a part in them. And we were literally driving and we're just kind of like, oh, we should pick somewhere halfway up and just stop by. And I saw a waterfall and I was like, oh, let's go see the waterfalls. And what else did I see? Winery. So, you know, we had to go and see some of the wineries and just kind of make a stop, have some lunch, have some drinks. And this was another case of pick something on the map, and the drive, guys, was so pretty. Like, I love the trees in Virginia. I don't know, I'm weird, but I was obsessed with these trees the whole time. And the winery we chose was actually in Maryland, and it was right next to this little mountain, Sugarloaf Mountain. So appropriately, we were like, we should go to the Sugarloaf Mountain Winery. And whenever I travel, I love to experience new things. So, you know, we tried all the grapes that we didn't know what those words were. We also did a little tasting, so the 2 reds that we wanted to try were on it, so the other ones we just kind of did little samples of. So this Chimera is really interesting because it kind of has like almost a licorice kind of smell to it, and you don't really taste it until like the very absolute finish of the wine. It's like really interesting. This one is the Cersei, and it is like really good. It's kind of cherry, but it kind of is like if a Merlot and a Cabernet had a baby. Very interesting. On to the Chardonnay. This is yum. Like oaky, buttery, yummy, but it's still light. It's not like heavy. This one is Pinot Grigio. I always hate Pinot Grigio. No offense to Pinot Grigio lovers, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna like this. I actually like that. I've never said I like Pinot Grigio in my life. This is just proof it's Pinot Grigio. Pinot Grigio. I am shook. It's more like a, I feel like most Pinot Grigio has like a peachy taste to it. This one has like a honeysuckle. I like that. And the weather today was perfect. It was, you know, that just beginning of fall where it's a little crisp in the air, but it's not cold. It's still warm, but you just get that crispness. So it was a perfect day for a winery. And then it was back to driving through Pennsylvania, where we were hungry again, so we stopped at Sheets. Guys, Sheets has like the best menu. I'm not even gonna lie, especially when you just need something quick when you're on the go. It's the best like road trip food ever. They have these snack wrap things that I'm obsessed with. You can get a 2-pack or a 3-pack, so I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm just saying, like, you can make yourself a really good, cheap road trip meal on this thing. And it's open 24/7, so it's like, what time is it now? I don't even know. I'm just on the road and all the days just blend together. Side note, I also loved stopping at these little like truck community places. It's pretty crazy to put yourself in that lifestyle where you're like, wow, they just drive all day and I'm just doing this for the weekend. Like, what a fun life. If you like this video, make sure you check out this other road trip video. It's an old one. It's one of my first videos from my YouTube when I was first playing around with things, but it's still got some fun things in it to entertain yourself on a road trip. Otherwise, if you're looking for more of my crazy life experiences, here's a whole playlist of vlogs. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video.